Tips. This is Don B., the tax man and enrolled agent, as well as business advisor. I have many clients. I take care of I advise them on their business. So if you have questions about business as well as taxes, give me a call. Shortly I will appear the information that you need to contact me. First, it's a checklist designed to help. So number one is keep good records about who the employee is and who the independent contractor. Obviously, if you can't prove he's an independent contractor, you're going to have to pay payroll taxes on him, and his side and your side. Number two, keep track of places where you may have a physical presence, even unknowingly, to properly comply with the state rules governing sales tax. I.e., if you have a sales office in Texas, you have an office in Texas, even though your business is even though you're shipping from California, you have a business site in Texas. Invest in good tax software, accounting system. That means accounting systems that keep track of good tax information. QuickBooks does it, but you have to tell QuickBooks which one you want. So check with my website, taxshowradio.com. Go to tax tips and you'll find a chart of accounts, which I think relates a lot to business. Those that track your records and regularly provide updates to new IRS rules. That means the software is coming in and telling you when you need to update. Hire a tax accountant who has experience in your type of business. Amen. However, in my case, I don't know if you can do that because I've been with so many different businesses and consulted on so many different projects. But whether it's a coffee shop or a construction company, find somebody that knows about your business. Number five, keep good records on how much you pay for and the dates that you placed it into service, and all business equipment, business vehicles, etc. Now, this is because there's lots of tax advantages to quickly writing off equipment, and so it's important that we know the date of in service as well as the amount and the life of the equipment. Number six, don't consider using funds that you have to withdraw from employees' payroll tax. So many people today are short, and so they delay paying their payroll tax. My best advice is get a payroll service. They make you pull the full amount, including payroll taxes, in when they send the checks out. Even though it's tough, it keeps you from getting in trouble. Number seven, one of the biggest traps for small business taxpayers is estimating taxes. And that's because you're not sure whether you're going to have a full good year or not. Paying them on time is number one. Collecting them correctly is number two. And knowing the safe harbors that can protect you against underpayments. Miscalculations of any of these steps can be a major headache, so speak with someone, most likely your tax accountant, amen, an enrolled agent who knows the rules, cold. That's me. Number eight, if your spouse, children, mother-in-law, and other close relatives work in your business, make sure she abides by the same employment rules as the unrelated employees. Otherwise, you're going to have a visit from the Labor Department, Labor Board. Number nine, select a tax year for your business that reflects the natural ebb and flow of your business receipts and disbursements. That way you won't get caught in a cash crunch when tax time comes. Well, that may be a little bit of a problem because if you file a corporation, then they're going to ask you what the major stockholders' tax year is. So I agree with it, but you may not always be able to do it. Number 10. You or your accountant should retain all relevant tax records for at least 3 years. And for the state of California, it's 4 years. Number 11. Keep detailed records on how you use your personal or your business-owned vehicle for business or for personal use. It's necessary to have a log to present to IRS in case of audit. Hire a reputable third-party administrator, such as Fidelity or Vanguard, to manage your 401k plan and other tax-favorable employee benefits. Number 13, make sure that you and your tax accountant are familiar with the tax rules, including the favorable tax credits and deductions that are unique to your business. Number 14, if it becomes necessary for your small business to open a foreign bank account in order to pay vendors or others in another country, make sure that your tax accountant is vigilant in following the new rules for foreign bank accounts, which I call FATCAT, and it means Foreign Tax Compliance Act. This is the reporting by the bank of your accounts. You need to file an FBAR and, in some cases, a TD report to the Department of Treasury, which is due June the 30th for the Department of Treasury and is due on your tax return by when you file your tax return, either April the 15th or if you have an extension, October the 15th. If you don't do this, your tax return will not be considered completed and it will be open until you file the proper paperwork for your foreign investments. Number 15, if your hope is that your business will continue after you die under leadership of another family member or designated heir, take steps to protect the business against forced sales in order to pay inheritance tax. In other words, make sure you've set it up so that there's enough cash to pay the inheritance tax on your business. Don't become foolishly embroiled by thinking that the IRS will have to prove that you have done something that doesn't conform to the tax law. The burden of proof in tax law is on you, not on IRS. Become familiar with tax rules surrounding starting, running, selling, or shutting down a business. Determine whether you should operate as a partnership, an S corporation, an LLC, or a sole proprietorship. Each one has its advantages. Your tax accountant should be familiar with these rules. Number 18, have a one-on-one conversation with your accountant about Affordable Care Act. This, even though you say you're under 50 employees, you may get embroiled in the fact that your employee is using the state or Medicare. If you can't pay the taxes you owe IRS or another tax agency, this situation doesn't get better by ignoring it. Amen. People come in and say to me, "Oh, fix it for me. I can't fix it until I have all the information." Number 20, when somebody pays you in cash, it doesn't mean that that payment is non-taxable. All payments made for sales or services are taxable, less the amount of cost of doing business. The IRS has a state-of-the-art statistical technology and models based on spending habits and bank accounts built. Well, what this means is IRS has got a lot of data, and they can look at your particular business and see how much they think you should be collecting. So be careful on your reporting, make it accurate. These are just some of the ideas for best tax practice. Well, what I really want to say is contact your accountant, your enrolled agent, and have him help you through all phases of your business, beginning, ending, death, etc., and retirement. These are the final words. If you have a problem with your business, consult with a good advisor that's a seasoned like myself. And here's how you can get a hold of me.